Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on KREM News at Noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we do begin right off the top here today in a weather impact alert. This is for dry and windy conditions, which increases the possibility of wildfires or brush fires throughout the region. So we have coverage today. We've got you covered from Jenny Power in the Weather Center, and more information on what's happening out there as people prepare for the extreme weather. And because of this extreme weather today, Avista is reporting a public safety power shutoff at 1 o'clock this afternoon. This is a look at the areas that'll be impacted in northwest Spokane by Indian Trail. This outage is planned to help reduce the risk of wildfire. It impacts about 1,800 customers. Again, those customers losing power, it is a planned power outage. They will turn the power back on once the high fire risk has passed. So do take note of that. We'll continue to track any changes if they continue to add maybe more areas to that. In the meantime, let's get right to the weather report. Jenny Power is standing in the KREM 2 Outdoor Weather Center. And Jenny, it is a beautiful day overall, but it is hot, it is dry, and of course we're bracing for those pretty heavy-duty winds.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't know if you were able to hear it, but it is windy out here in the Outdoor Weather Center. This is a big reason why we're under this weather impact alert, because of the combination of hot temperatures, dry conditions, relatively low humidity, and then those elevated winds, which we are seeing across the region here, leading to this elevated fire danger where we could see fires start very easily and spread rapidly. So we have widespread red flag warnings impacting most of central and eastern Washington, as well as south to northern Oregon and the lower Columbia Basin. Winds at 25 to 30 miles per hour with gusts anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour. As right now at this noon hour, our winds have just started to pick up and will continue to increase through this afternoon. That's even prompted some flat out wind advisories on top of the red flag warnings for all these areas that are shaded in tan for those gusts between 40 to 50 miles per hour. So not only is the fire danger a concern, but also there's concern for blowing dust, reduced visibility, difficult driving because of the crosswinds here. So it's something to be aware of. We could even see damage to tree branches with these kinds of winds. We're currently sitting near 30-mile-per-hour sustained winds out of the southwest in the Spokane area, and we'll continue to see these winds climb moving forward. So the in-depth breakdown of the system in just a few minutes.
All right. As you said, already pretty windy out there, and we're tracking those. We do want to be prepared, of course, for possible sparks and, if at all, an option to avoid them altogether if possible. So as a reminder, be sure to follow burn restrictions that are in effect, and just in case, it's good to create some defensive space around your home. Clean up the yard of any tree debris, and also be familiar with several different routes to leave your neighborhood in case of an emergency. We'll continue to track all that. In the meantime, we track this breaking news coming in at noon. A federal judge is temporarily blocking part of Idaho's bathroom law. This comes after a group of transgender people in Idaho have filed a lawsuit. So they're arguing the law is too vague to enforce and unconstitutional, and that it would force transgender people in Idaho to either break the law or risk their safety just to use a bathroom. Now a preliminary injunction is in place, and that means the law is temporarily blocked until the case is fully decided. However, we do want to make note, the injunction does not block the law entirely. It only blocks a section about bathrooms when there isn't a gender-neutral option available. The law was set to take effect coming up on July 1st. Now, the Attorney General's office did release a statement saying in part, quote, "This is a results-driven decision that misapplies the law, confuses the issues, and misrepresents the position of the state. Biological sex is not vague, and neither is the law." We'll continue to track that. Today, a proposed emergency moratorium on a new data center is on hold in Spokane. The City Council pulled the vote actually from last night's agenda before the meeting even began. However, dozens of people there still spoke about their concerns about that potential data center. So just last week, Avista decided to pause negotiations with a large data center because of all the public backlash. Before that decision, City Council had proposed this new legislation to ban data centers in the city for a year. But again, they canceled that vote yesterday.
Ultimately, This is a situation Americans are all too familiar with. Billion and trillion-dollar companies are looking to extract from the commons, have taxpayers foot the bill for the required infrastructure, have citizens suffer all the negative consequences, all to make money on a product that only benefits the company.
I'm strongly against a data center, because what will our children drink?
Many community members who spoke last night, as you heard, against the center. City Council is planning on putting the moratorium vote back on the agenda coming up next week. Today, the trial resuming for former Spokane County Sheriff Sergeant Clay Hilton. He is accused of beating a man during a 2023 arrest. Prosecutors argued that Hilton allegedly lost control during the arrest of Kevin Hinton. Yakima County prosecutors are trying the case instead of Spokane to avoid a conflict of interest. Prosecutors say the incident is an issue of professionalism and an unreasonable use of force. The defense argued, however, Hinton's actions were criminal and defiant during the arrest. Attorneys maintain that Sergeant Hilton's actions were a reasonable use of force and consistent with his law enforcement training. On the witness stand yesterday, shared he was frightened during the altercation. He told the court he was kicked in the side, resulting in 8 broken ribs, and that the injuries left him unable to breathe. All right, Spokane Council members Zach Sapone and Kitty Klitsky are doing what's called a chat and chew event today. They represent District 3, the northwest part of the city. It will be at Jewel of the North at 4:30 this afternoon. And by the way, dogs are welcome. All right, summer vacation, it is about underway for many students. So as kids are out and about, what to know about e-bike safety and how you can learn more. But first, take a pause on the day's news, and there's lots happening, and take a live look outside. This is overlooking Riverfront Park, where they, of course, have some events going on today. Food trucks down there if you're looking for a place to have lunch. We'll have more on that coming up on KREM News at noon.